Around the World with MS World. I'm Dr. Daniel Cantor, President of the Florida Society of Neurology, here in Barcelona, Spain, with MS World at the European Neurological Society meeting. In a poster we looked at risk behavior in people who have multiple sclerosis even before they get diagnosed or have symptoms of MS. What was interesting is it looked like people who went on to develop MS were actually people who were more risk takers in terms of different aspects of their life. Now, we already knew this to be true in terms of smoking, meaning people who are risk takers, meaning smokers, are more likely to be diagnosed with MS than people who are non-smokers, yet another reason to quit smoking. What was interesting is that we also found other things like all-night partying and gambling and other sorts of risk-taking behavior were more likely in people who went on to be diagnosed with MS than people who did not. Now, of course, it's very difficult to understand what this means, and this needs to be replicated or duplicated or seen in another study. Also, if you think about the controls, meaning the people they compared the group who went on to have MS with, and that control was people with what we call benign headache, so meaning a headache that didn't come from something more serious like a brain tumor or like an infection or something else. Now, people who have headache may be less likely to be smokers because the smoke may bother them in terms of the smell and it may trigger headaches. They may be less likely to be drinkers because alcohol can trigger migraines. So there may be other things that are going on as well, but it is interesting to note, and the question is whether taking greater risks does put you at multiple sclerosis risk, and whether there's something we can do about it, and whether changing your risk behavior may have a beneficial effect on your MS as well. For now, we do know that quitting smoking is one of the better things you can do, not just in terms of your heart health or your lung health or your risk of cancer and other problems, but also in terms of your multiple sclerosis. People who smoke have worse multiple sclerosis than people who don't smoke. So yet another reason to talk to your healthcare team about smoking cessation or quitting smoking. Thank you so much for joining us.